Hey, what's up YouTube? So today we got a 97 Chevy Tahoe, or as I call her, the Tough-O. But I got this motor I want to put back in it. It had a head gasket leak when I pulled it. Switched around a couple of the other motors, forgot which one I had was where and whatever. Did all the gaskets except for guess which ones? Yes, the head gaskets. I already did an oil pan, did a high volume oil pump. Did the intermediate shaft upgrade as well, so that's all been done. But I did all the intake, upper and lower, and did the timing chain cover, did the balancer, did everything that I in the rear main, obviously. But do you think I did the head gaskets? No. And do you think I need head gaskets? You see that? Huh. Wonder what that stuff there is. Yes, that's the head gasket material. So if it's that crusty and bad, then they are most likely, obviously, really bad. So we're gonna try a couple different cameras out today and see how this goes. But we're already ready, set up. I made up a little box to put all the little push rods and rocker arms and everything in there until we can put it all back together, because definitely don't want to mix anything up. Step one, we're going to end up probably taking off like the dipstick. We got it pointed at number 1 for now. That way when we drop in the dizzy, we'll know exactly where it needs to go. So we'll get the dipstick, the dizzy, and then start working on the intake manifold bolts. But it's a pretty straightforward job. I'm not going to probably take apart the upper intake manifold, but I will end up, obviously pulling the lower. And I did a great job sealing her up, so I imagine this is really going to be fun pulling her apart, but let's get after it. So if you use that head gasket fixer-upper stuff, that is what ends up happening. Yeah. My coolant could hardly, oh boy, could hardly flow in there since I got a couple more to do. So what I've been doing, clean the block deck, right? Got that pretty well cleaned up. But here, all I did was I brought it mostly almost top dead center, basically where you get that little lip sometimes. And all I did was just take a little engine degreaser. Really doesn't take very long. Now I know what a lot of you are gonna say. This is a copper brush. Just let it soak for a minute. And it really hasn't been on here very long. So I'm gonna go around. I want to get the lip of this cylinder as well, because there's a little bit of rust and crud around there. So now just make sure you get the valve reliefs real good. Get a rag, nice clean one. Just keep running the cylinders up. As you can see down in there, there's some crud around the edges. I still gotta clean that one. So as this one goes down, I'm gonna clean the walls and clean as I go. I know there's crud down in there. I know there's crud in the lifters. So we'll get to that, but one thing at a time, we'll get these cylinders and whatnot cleaned up. I got it cleaned up pretty good, and I noticed the other day it's like a wet spot, and I got to thinking, since those jackets were plugged, there's another one here. Ooh, I'm gonna have to move the cylinder down a little bit. Let's see here. Piston down the cylinder a little bit. Same thing. So that's 8. And then 1. I think it was 1. And then 5. So I think it's 1, 5. I don't think it was 2. But anywho, there was only a couple of them like that. So I'm not worried about it. I just definitely want to clean out these jackets pretty good. And again, it's not a water spot. My guess is just obviously a hot spot where it couldn't get coolant. So after the degreaser and cleaning and the wire brush and all that, I used good old parts cleaner, the non-chlorinated. Better for you. Anyway, I sprayed that around when I got them up to top dead center, and then hit it with air, right? And then I did. Usually, obviously, you can do 2 at a time. You know, so you'll have 2 almost top dead center each time when you come around. And then you got another one, clean it up, brake clean, spray it out. So now the cylinders should be pretty dry, and that's what I want for the moment, because I'm going to put some oil on it just temporarily while I get everything else clean. Alright, we are back. It's been a minute since I've been working on that. That was a mess, so it took a while to clean. I also put some caliper paint. No sponsors or nothing. I gotta go through and clean this up. A few little spots where I should have put some grease or something, you know. But they turned out pretty decent. And I'm gonna take this, my grandpappy got this from him, so we gotta run through, and I already did this one. I'm gonna blow it out and clean it out better, run it in again, but you can see the paint got in there a little bit. So we're gonna clean these out, and I don't have a thread chaser. And run a tap in here very, very gently to just clean it out. You can do it with a tap. Shouldn't let people scare you, but you sure better be gentle. But we'll do it by hand and clean them out. Then I'm also going to clean these cylinders out. I had put some oil on them because I knew it was going to be a minute, and sure enough, it's been a while. And like a couple weeks, we're just going to dump out any of that coolant right here, each side. And then these bolts, I'm not going to reuse these bolts because you never should really reuse your head bolts. And we'll reassemble it onto this head gaskets. If you want to use that sealant stop leak stuff, well, how about stop flow? Because that ain't going to go through there. So that's no bueno. You think any coolant was going through this one? Look at that. There's definitely no coolant went through there. We're going to clean this up, get the oil out, and then prep the surfaces, get the head gaskets on, and then start putting her together. So we ran that thread chaser in there, but you can still see there's some goop around the neck. Same with this one. Some paint in there. And now this one, still a lot of paint in there. So we're going to take this pick, probably a small flathead, and we'll get that out of there. Now we're starting to get that cleaned up pretty good. I underestimated how tough and how thick that stuff goes on, so you definitely want to make sure to clean that off real well. Now, let's see this one. I started working at this one. When I go to torque these down, you don't want paint and stuff in between there, because that's definitely not going to give you a proper reading. So I'm going to get these cleaned out real well, get the plug holes, and possibly even, like I said, run a tap through there. We'll see. But till then, see you in a bit. Let's get it in the light here. And see, there's no metal. It's just a little bit of rusty dust and debris. And then we'll blow this out. You can see the rust. And that. And this one's probably the dirtiest. I'm gonna blow it out and I'll show you what it looks like here. Nice and cleaned out. Compared to all that rust and stuff in there. So we'll keep after it here. So I'm going to call that prepped, besides doing a little bit more to this face. I'm going to try to clean that up just a touch in some of these spots. So I'm going to set this one off to the side, reset up with the other one, do the same thing. I'm not even going to bother recording it because this is taking up enough space just to show this, but I'm pretty sure you all get the idea of what's going on here. So we'll be back. Alright, now I'm just prepping the heads, just getting the surfaces cleaned. Now, I noticed a little dingy ding there, and another one there. So I'm just going to clean up this stone and take that. It's very minimal. It wouldn't hurt anything really because it doesn't come out past the ceiling. Little ring there, but we're still gonna get that out of there. And we got all the crud out of the heads, so now we should have coolant flowing through them. But we're getting close. We should be starting to assemble here pretty soon. Now you can barely see where that little ding was. This one over here, that one's totally gone. So I'm going to take that tiny little schmidget out and then we'll start assembling. Now, I was going to use the black stuff that I had, but all I have is gray, so black stuff is not going to come out of the thing. So I got the bolt still loose. I want to lift it up just to get a little touch between the head and the gasket in this corner here. Oh, I got that one a little too far tightened down. I don't know if we'll have enough for the China wall here. Alright, we're not that far along just yet. Now we can at least run these ones in.